Goalkeepers are typically seen as emotionless, robotic figures, always focused and alert, but rarely feared or revered in the same way as outfield players. However, one name stands out among the rest: Oliver Kahn. Kahn didn't fit the typical mold of a goalkeeper. He was ferocious, instinct-driven, and treated every match like a fight for survival. His own teammate, Hasan Salihamidzic, recalled the daunting experience of facing Kahn one-on-one. You either took the shot as quickly as possible or risked being consumed by Kahn's relentless determination. Kahn's intensity went beyond his physical presence on the pitch. His obsession with goalkeeping began at age 6, and from that moment, he was driven by a singular goal: to become the best. In his own words, Kahn wasn't naturally talented, but he worked tirelessly, honing his skills and committing himself to the craft. A key turning point in his career came when his grandfather gifted him Sepp Maier jersey, sparking his unyielding determination. His resolve to reach the highest levels of the game was unwavering. After 12 years in the academy of Karlsruher SC, Kahn was given a chance to train with the first team. Competing alongside the son of a club legend, Kahn was at a disadvantage, but his relentless attitude set him apart. After finishing a training drill, Kahn kicked the ball back toward the coach and demanded they repeat the exercise. His refusal to settle for mediocrity earned him the starting goalkeeper role for the next 4 years. Kahn's fierce competitiveness became legendary, and his approach to goalkeeping was intense. One of his teammates even refused to share a room with him, fearing Kahn's obsession might spill into their personal lives. Kahn's intense mentality showed early in his career, even with the youth teams. One famous example was during a charity match when Kahn insisted on saving every penalty kick from a group of 9-year-old academy players, even though the club had promised to donate money for every goal scored. For Kahn, goalkeeping required a bit of madness, standing in front of powerful shots and taking them head-on. However, his path to the top wasn't always straightforward. In 1991, after Karlsruher SC had a rough start to the season, Kahn was substituted during a match, and it seemed his future with the team was uncertain. But fate intervened when, at just 22, he was brought back onto the pitch. His exceptional series of saves led the team to an unexpected victory, earning him the #1 spot and helping Karlsruher SC recover to finish the season strong. From that moment, Kahn's career took off, and he never looked back. Kahn's breakthrough came in the following season, as Karlsruher SC finished 8th in the Bundesliga, their highest ever league position. Yet despite his personal success, Kahn still felt overlooked by the German national team. To prove himself, he led Karlsruher SC to a 6th-place finish and a spot in the UEFA Cup, where his performances in crucial matches, including clean sheets against PSV Eindhoven and Bordeaux, earned him recognition. Despite a semi-final exit on away goals, Kahn's individual performances couldn't be ignored. Ironically, even after these achievements, Kahn's call-up to the German national team was still limited. He was included in the 1994 World Cup squad, but was relegated to a bench-warmer role behind Bodo Illgner and Andreas Köpke. It wasn't until Bayern Munich paid a record $2.4 million for him that Kahn's career truly took off. The move made him the most expensive German goalkeeper of all time, and he was reunited with his idol, Sepp Maier, who became his personal goalkeeping coach. Despite achieving this lifelong dream, Kahn's hunger to improve never waned. However, Kahn's transition to Bayern wasn't as smooth as he had hoped. In his debut season, he suffered a serious knee injury, sidelining him for much of the campaign. This setback could have derailed many players, but Kahn's resilience and relentless drive would soon push him back into the spotlight. Even though Oliver Kahn quickly became one of Bayern Munich's most iconic players, leading them to the top of European football, his public image was far from favorable. Despite his success on the pitch, he was often ridiculed by fans across Germany who gave him the cruel nickname, the Gorilla. Fans would throw bananas onto the pitch, and comedians would dress up as Kahn in mockery, portraying him as a brash, unintelligent figure who only knew how to shout and charge at anyone. In his way, Kahn himself claimed to enjoy being hated, saying that the bananas were thrown at him because people viewed him as invincible. However, the negative perception of him clearly influenced decisions, including Germany's reluctance to make Kahn their #1 goalkeeper despite his undeniable talent. In the early stages of his career, Kahn's performances often went unnoticed by the national team, even as his club achievements grew. While Bayern Munich's defense faltered, Kahn's resolve never did. In the 1990s, Bayern narrowly missed out on league titles, yet Kahn pushed himself harder, determined to prove his worth. In 1999, after conceding just 32 goals and setting a record low for Bayern goalkeepers, Kahn felt vindicated in his methods. But his relentless drive only fueled his internal pressure. When Bayern lost the title race to Kaiserslautern, Kahn's obsession intensified, convincing himself that he wasn't doing enough and thus pushing himself even harder. Kahn's relentless ambition would eventually take a toll. Years later, following the tragic death of fellow German goalkeeper Robert Enke, Kahn admitted that he had struggled with burnout and depression throughout his career. He described being physically and mentally drained to the point where he could no longer walk up the stairs from exhaustion. His body, worn down by stress and anxiety, began to break down. Kahn spent time in the medical department dealing with stress-induced gastroenteritis, and his body seemed to be consumed by his own ambition. Yet, despite these personal struggles, the World Cup presented a final opportunity for Kahn to claim the starting spot for Germany. Kahn's moment came after goalkeeper Bodo Illgner's retirement, and he seized the opportunity, eventually becoming Germany's #1. His career at Bayern Munich reached new heights as he set records and solidified his legacy as one of the greatest goalkeepers of his generation. In the 2001 season, Kahn went 736 minutes without conceding a goal, setting a Bundesliga record that stood for years. However, his streak was broken by Dortmund's Marcio Amoroso, and in a moment that highlighted his fiery personality, Kahn aggressively confronted him on the pitch. His intense reactions, including a famous incident where he lunged at Dortmund's Heiko Herrlich, only added to his fearsome reputation. Despite being seen by some as the villain, Kahn's fierce loyalty to his team and his ability to perform under pressure made him beloved by Bayern Munich fans. During a crucial Champions League match, he saved a penalty against Darlington and later produced a legendary performance to ensure Bayern's 1-0 victory over Dynamo Kiev, leading them to the Champions League final. Kahn's flawless 90 minutes in the final against Manchester United kept Bayern in contention for their first European title in 23 years. But in the dying moments of injury time, David Beckham delivered 2 corner kicks that turned the tide, and Bayern Munich lost in what became known as one of the greatest Champions League comebacks in history. Kahn, devastated by the loss, later admitted that the sting of losing that final haunted him for years, even after being named Europe's best goalkeeper. Kahn's perseverance never faltered. The following season, despite relentless fan hostility, including an instance where a fan threw a golf ball at his head, he played on, bleeding from the injury, but refusing to leave the pitch. His unwavering determination propelled Bayern Munich forward, and with just 6 matches remaining, he led them to a dramatic title victory, proving that his resilience was truly unmatched. Oliver Kahn's career at Bayern Munich was defined by his relentless drive, resilience, and pursuit of perfection. On the final match day of a dramatic season, his exceptional performances, conceding just 28 goals in 34 league games, helped Bayern secure the title on goal difference, the best defensive record in a decade. In the Champions League, he delivered a career-defining save, only to be denied a final appearance by a cruel own goal, despite being named Europe's best goalkeeper. For the second consecutive year, Kahn remained unsatisfied, always feeling the need to push himself further. Midway through the season, Kahn's relentless will to win led to a notorious moment. He was sent off for deliberately punching the ball into the opposition's net in a desperate bid for victory. With his trademark defiance, he sarcastically remarked that he thought goalkeepers were allowed to use their hands. Yet his determination never wavered. On the final match day, with Bayern on the verge of losing the title to Schalke, Kahn urged his team forward, charging up the pitch and into the opponent's box. When Bayern secured the decisive goal, he erupted in celebration, ripping the corner flag from the ground in triumph. However, despite all these triumphs, Kahn still hadn't claimed the Champions League. The following season, he sought revenge on Manchester United at Old Trafford, determined to make up for the disappointment of the previous year. When Bayern made it to the Champions League final, the match was ultimately decided by penalties. Kahn faced off against Valencia's Santiago Cañizares in a dramatic shootout. After a tense exchange, Kahn made 3 vital saves, including a stunning stop to level the shootout. He was named Man of the Match, and Bayern clinched the Champions League title for the first time in over 2 decades, cementing Kahn's status as a legendary goalkeeper. In a stunning display of sportsmanship, Kahn, who had been hated by many for his aggressive style, stopped the celebrations to console Cañizares, who was devastated by the loss. This moment completely transformed his public image, and FIFA awarded him the Fair Play Award shortly afterward. Kahn's accolades continued to pile up. He won the UEFA Goalkeeper of the Year award for a 3rd and 4th time, and became only the 3rd goalkeeper in history to reach the Ballon d'Or podium. However, despite his dominance, he never won the award, a lingering blemish on his otherwise legendary career. His closest chance came in 2001, but a devastating hat-trick by Michael Owen in a World Cup qualifier against Germany likely cost him the prestigious honor. As Kahn approached his 33rd birthday, he was faced with another challenge. Germany's national team was struggling. Heading into the 2002 World Cup, few were optimistic about their chances, as the squad was considered one of the weakest in the country's history. Much of Germany's hopes rested on Kahn and midfielder Michael Ballack. Despite a record 8-0 victory in the opening match, Germany's performance remained shaky. Kahn did his best, making crucial saves, but the defense often let him down. In their second match, Germany conceded a soft goal against Robbie Keane, and their final group stage match was a narrow win against Cameroon. Germany's struggles continued in the knockout stages. In the round of 16, they barely edged past Paraguay with a lone late goal. The quarterfinal against the United States was even more concerning. Germany was outplayed, with the Americans controlling possession, taking more shots. Kahn single-handedly kept his team in the match with a string of incredible saves. His performance was so crucial that coach Rudi Völler later stated that, aside from Kahn, the entire squad should be replaced. Oliver Kahn's World Cup 2002 performance became legendary, with his 1,000 arms saving Germany countless times, leading them to the final despite a lackluster team. He was the sole reason they made it that far, as Germany had scored just 1 goal in most of their matches. In the final against Brazil, with Ballack suspended, Kahn fought through pain after injuring his finger. But a slip on Rivaldo's shot and a defensive mistake allowed Brazil to win 2-0. Despite being named the World Cup's first ever Golden Ball winning goalkeeper, Kahn couldn't find solace, claiming his one mistake in 7 matches had cost him everything. The following year, Kahn broke his own record for the most minutes without conceding a goal and led Bayern Munich to the league title with a dominant 16-point lead. However, his mental state began to decline. He admitted to sometimes hating football, went through a highly publicized divorce, and was seen partying with a new girlfriend while sidelined with an injury. His performances became inconsistent, and rumors circulated about an eye condition affecting his play. In his final years, he prioritized golfing with his idol, Sepp Maier, overtraining, yet ironically, he won more domestic trophies during this period than in the rest of his career. Despite personal struggles, Kahn's legacy as a titan of goalkeeping remained intact. Thank you for watching. What are your thoughts on Oliver Kahn and his incredible career? Let us know in the comments.